into Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle. So you'll bring your soles of your feet together to touch, knees open wide. And if you want to slide any blocks or whatever props you have under your knees for a little extra support, you can. And then just allow the palms to rest face up by the sides, letting the shoulders roll underneath the heart space. Let the eyelids be heavy. Just allowing the gaze to turn inwards. And wherever you are, exhale all the air out of the lungs. And then inhale, start to feel the belly expanding, the chest, the throat. Hold at the top. Then open mouth, exhale, letting everything release. Another round like that. Inhale, fill the belly. Fill the chest and rib cage. Final sip of air into the throat. And then open mouth, exhale. And one more round. Inhale, fill up the belly like a balloon. The chest, the collarbones, the throat. Hold at the top. And then open mouth, exhale, let it go. Just seal the lips. And start to find Ujjayi pranayama, breathing in and out through the nose. Slight constriction in the back of the throat. With every breath, see if you can expand the points of contact between the backside of your body and the mat. So inhaling, feeling the upper back spreading across the mat, middle back and lower back. And breathing out the nose, letting everything soften back in. And as you continue to breathe, bring your hands over the heart, left hand over the right. And then if you'd like to set an intention for your practice today, you can set one here. As always, it doesn't have to be a part of the physical practice. It doesn't have to be a tangible objective. It can be something less tangible. Sort of a concept or an idea, a mantra, anything you'd like to invite into this practice today. Okay, take a deep breath in. And exhale out the mouth. And then reseal the lips. Find Ujjayi pranayama once again. You're just going to scoop up underneath the knees and draw them into the chest. Just finding a little compression through the psoas, which are your hip flexors. And then you're going to grab the tops of the shins and draw circles with the knees out away from each other and then back in. Drawing 3 circles in this direction, really connecting the breath with the movement. And then once you're done with your 3 circles, moving at your own pace, just go ahead and switch directions. So we're just starting to lubricate the hip joints. And the deeper you breathe, the more you'll feel the muscle tissue start to open up. Good. Once you finish your 3 in that direction, just go ahead and extend the left leg long. Give one more little squeeze, hugging that right knee in towards the body. And then we'll find Ardha, Ananda, Balasana, half happy baby. So flex the right foot towards the sky. And you'll grab the outside of the foot, ankle, or hamstring just below the knee. And then just draw the knee down to frame the right ribs. See if you can keep that left hip bone pressing down into the mat. Good. Take a deep breath in, breathing into that left hip. And then as you exhale, go ahead and just cross the right knee over the body for a supine twist. You can go ahead and cactus the right arm or have it out to a T. Whatever feels more comfortable. Your gaze can fall over to the right, or you can keep your eyes closed, just turning the gaze inward. Good. And then gently come back through center. We'll go ahead and draw your left knee in to meet the right, hugging it in towards the body, and then extend the right leg out long. Just find a little compression here through the left hip flexor. And then we'll find Ardha, Ananda, Balasana on the other side. So you'll go ahead and grab the outside of the left foot, ankle or hamstring, and draw the knee down towards the armpit, framing the left side of the body. And again, continue to ground through that right hip flexor here. And take a deep breath in. Big exhale. And one more round of breath. Inhale, filling up. And then as you exhale, just cross the knee over the body, finding your supine twist. Again, you can have your left arm cactus or out to a T. You can trace your gaze over to the left or have the eyelids heavy and the gaze inwards. Good. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently draw the knee back through center. Good. You're going to bring both knees into the chest, and just a little exercise for the psoas and the lower abdominals. You'll bring your hands down to the mat, and then you'll just take 3 pulses. So you'll lift the knees up, trying to lift the sacrum, that bone at the bottom of the spine, up off the mat, and lower. And then 2 more. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. Last time, exhale, press all the air out. And then lower feet all the way down, fingertips graze the heels, feet are parallel. You'll press into the feet so that you feel the low back seal down on the mat, low belly hollow out. And then you'll start to lift the tailbone up towards the backs of the knees, finding bridge pose. If you want to grab the outside edges of the mat for a little support here, you can. And we won't be here for so long, so maybe hold off on clasping the hands under the shoulders. And keep rolling the inner thighs down, relax the glutes slightly, and press the knees towards the front of the room. Good. One more deep breath in. And then exhale, gently lower down. And then you'll draw the knees back into the chest, really engaging through the hip flexors. You'll lift as you exhale. Inhale, lower. Try to get the thighs as close to the torso. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. And as you inhale, lower the feet all the way down. Make sure the toes are in front of the heels. Setting up for bridge one more time. You'll press into the feet, seal the low back down first, and then continue to lift the tailbone in the direction of the backs of the knees. And this time, if you want to roll the shoulders underneath the heart space and interlace the hands, you can. Now notice if your weight is rolling to the outer edges of the feet, if the knees are splaying outwards, really ground down through the big toe, ball mound of the feet. Good. Press the back of the head into the mat, create a little bit more space for the throat. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, unclasp the hands if they're clasped. And then gently lower down one vertebra at a time. Good. Hug the knees back into the chest. And then you'll either roll over to your side or begin rocking the length of your spine 2 or 3 times until you come all the way up to a tabletop position. So crossing the ankles and then coming forward onto hands and knees. Good. So once you found your tabletop, we'll just move into some cat-cows right away. So fingers spread wide. We'll inhale, drop the belly, lift through the heart, smiling through the collarbones. And then as you exhale, start to round and curl, lengthening the tailbone down into cat. Another round, inhale, cow. And let the exhale carry you back into cat. So all the while as you're moving through these cat-cows, see if you can really let the breath start to amplify the movement. So they move congruently. Breath guiding movement, helping you to go deeper into the postures today. And then after a few rounds, just go ahead and walk your hands a little bit further forward in space, as if you're coming into puppy dog pose. And you're going to bring your elbows down on the mat, bring your hands to a prayer position. And you're just going to release the forehead down to the mat and draw the hands back. Now, if you have blocks at home, sometimes it's nice to put your elbows on blocks because you can go a little bit deeper into this stretch. Now, as you take this stretch, I want you to imagine you're still spiraling the armpits to face one another. So if they had eyeballs, they'd be staring at one another. So that the shoulders aren't collapsing in towards the ears. Their outer biceps are rolling out and down. Gently bring the hands back down and walk back to your tabletop position. And from here, go ahead and you're going to stamp your right foot towards the sky. And then your knee might want to turn out. So you're going to roll the knee to face down. And you'll just take little pulses here, starting to strengthen through that right glute and hamstring muscles. And then notice what your upper body's doing. So if you're collapsing in your shoulders, see if you can zip those low ribs up and in. Keep pressing through the palms. And then you can stay here. If you want to take this into tiger pose, you'll just start to reach that left arm up and back. Make sure that your palm is facing towards the left. You're going to grab the outside of the foot and kick into the hand. Now, if your weight is shifting super far back, shift the weight forward so that shoulder is still moving and tracking over the right wrist. And one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently release, left hand down, tabletop. And then we'll go ahead and switch sides. So you'll bring your left foot towards the sky. Make sure that the knee isn't turning out, it's pointing down. And then find those little pulses here. So just starting to warm up the hamstring first. And then maybe you'll just stay here taking this little exercise. But if you want, you can start to move into tiger pose, reaching that right arm up and back. The palm faces out to the right. And then you'll start to kick into the hand. Now again, try not to shift the weight back. So you want left shoulder over the wrist. Good. Try not to let that left shoulder sink in towards the ear either. Good. One more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, gently release down to your tabletop. It's a setting up for down dog. You're gonna wanna move your hands a palm print forward in space. Before you enter down dog, I want everyone to take your eyes of your elbows, so your elbow pits, and try to wrap them forward towards the front of the room so you feel the chest and collarbones widening. Then keeping that external rotation of the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Good. So if this is your first down dog of the day, feel free to take any organic movement. So just pedaling out the feet. If you've been moving all morning and you're craving stillness, listen to that as well and just find stillness right away. So this practice is being inquisitive about what you need out of each posture, each exercise, and then seeing if you can respond accordingly. When you eventually settle in, maybe bend the knees a little bit, lift the tailbone a little bit higher, and then keeping that length through both side bodies, then start to re-extend the heels down towards the mat. And now, down dog, I believe, is an active posture. So think about contracting the shins, lifting the kneecaps up towards the thighs, contracting the thighs, lifting the femur bone, the thigh bone up into the hip sockets. And this will take some of the weight out of the arms. Take a deep breath in. Big exhale. Another round, inhale. Exhale. And next, inhale, gaze forward towards your hands and start to tiptoe the feet all the way up to meet the hands at the top of the mat. And you're gonna arrive about hips width distance apart. Soft bend in the knees. And just let the chin fall into the chest, maybe shaking it out, yes or no. Good. And then that generous little bend in the knees is gonna help you find more of a lumbar spine release here. You can grab opposite elbows for ragdoll if you want to take a few sways side to side. Even when you're inverted, think about sending the breath up towards the hips. Good. Hands come down to the mat. Option to toe heel the feet together to touch. Soft bend in the knees. And then keeping the chin in towards the heart. Start to round up, stacking one vertebra on top of the next. All the way, taking your time until the crown of the head lifts. And then just roll the shoulders down the back, palms point forward. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms up, high prayer, Ardha Chandrasana. Think about lifting up through the side bodies. Good. As you exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Good. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then as you exhale, step back, find a high plank position. Good. In your high plank, think about pointing the tailbone down towards the heel, scooping the low belly up and in, contracting through the fronts of the thighs. Good. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Good. Untuck the toes, big toes touch. As you inhale, baby cobra, Bhujangasana. Good. Now think about micro-tucking the chin here so that the back of the neck is elongated, keeping the cervical spine as a part of the entire spine. Good. One more deep breath in. Exhale, forehead to mat. Good. Tuck the toes. First, lift the kneecaps off the mat. Then try for a second to tuck the tailbone here and lift just the belly button off the mat. Good. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, press into the hands. Try to lift up, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep Ujjayi breaths. Inhale here. Exhale. Good. Inhale. And exhale, roll the upper inner thighs up and back. Good. Last one, inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, you'll float the right leg high to the sky. Keep the right toes pointing down. But as you exhale, knee to nose, round forward. Good. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step it all the way through. Runner's lunge. And from here, you're gonna lower the back knee down. If you need a little cushion, you can put a blanket or roll your mat. Untuck the back toes and inhale, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. So think about wrapping those pinky fingers in and lifting up from the side bodies. And we're gonna do a little progression here. So think about starting from a place where your tailbone is tucked under. We're creating more length in the low back. And then you're gonna bring your palms together to touch. Wrap the elbows in as you draw the hands back behind the heart. Now your ribs are gonna wanna splay open here. Think about knitting them in as you lunge. Okay, so we'll take this to the next step. You'll take a deep breath in. Now see if you can sink into the lunge. So you're in your deepest lunge. Keeping your hips where they are, you'll tuck the back toes. Try not to lift the hips. You're just gonna lift the back kneecap. And it might not straighten all the way. This should be a fairly intense hip flexor stretch on the left side. One more deep breath in. Exhale, lower. Release the hands back to heart center. Plant the palms. Step forward, Uttanasana. Good. Inhale, rise up. Urdhva Hastasana, high prayer. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samastitihi. Good. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Maybe lift the gaze. And exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, go ahead and step the right leg back this time. Good. You're in your runner's lunge. We'll lower the back knee, untuck the back toes. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. So reach the arms up. So again, rather than just sinking into the flexibility, come out a little bit. Lengthen the tailbone down towards the back knee. Reach the arms up. Good. From here, you're gonna bring your palms together to touch. And then reach them back, finding prayer hands behind the back of the heart. And it's okay if you can't get your hands all the way down. Knit the low ribs in. Lift up out of the pelvis. Deep breath in. As you exhale, lunge deeper. Try not to splay through the ribs as you do. Good. And then tuck the back toes. And then you're gonna try to keep your hips from lifting. Keep them right where they are. And then just try to lift the back knee. So you're lifting the back of the hamstring up towards the sky. Good. It's okay if the leg doesn't straighten. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, lower the back knee. Plant the palms, step back, high plank. Good. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lower all the way down. Untuck the toes. Inhale, baby cobra. And exhale, forehead to mat. Good. Tuck the toes, contract through the thighs as you inhale, either tabletop or high plank. Exhale, down dog. Good. Recollect your breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the nose. Good. Two more. Inhale. Good. As you exhale, keep hugging the upper outer arm bones towards one another. Last one here. Inhale. And exhale. Next, inhale, float the left leg high to the sky. Make sure that the back toes are pointing down so the hips are level. And as you exhale, knee to nose, create some space between the chest and the mat. Inhale, left leg high. And as you exhale, step it all the way through runner's lunge. Just one breath here. Lower the back knee. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, plant the palms, step forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, Ardha Hasasana. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Arda Uttanasana. And then exhale, step the left leg back. Good. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. And exhale, plant the palms, step back, high plank. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, lower all the way down. Untuck the toes. Inhale, Bhujangasana, Cobra. And exhale, forehead to mat. Tuck the toes as you inhale, either high plank or modify with tabletop. And exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, ground yourself here. Big exhale. Another round, inhale. And exhale. And last round of breath, inhale, fill up. And exhale, empty all the way out. Good. You're gonna inhale, float the right leg high to the sky. Hold here. Now you can stay here, or you're gonna gaze slightly forward and you're gonna come to your left fingertips. So just all 5 fingers are on the mat. Try to keep equal weight in that right hand and back foot. Now maybe lift your pinky finger, maybe your ring finger, middle finger, index finger, possibly your thumb. Hold, deep breath in. Exhale, replant the palm, step forward, runner's lunge. And from here, start by bending the back knee, lift up, high crescent lunge. The reason I have you bend the back knee first is so that you can lengthen the tailbone down. Then maybe you start to re-extend the back of the hamstring towards the sky. Good, take a deep breath in. Big exhale. Good, another round, inhale here. Drawing the front low ribs down. Big exhale. The next inhale, focus your drishti, your gaze at one point. Really press down to the right foot. And exhale, lift the left knee. And you'll capture the left shin with your hands. Good. And then draw the knee in towards the body. So just like how we began class, but now balancing on our right foot. Now notice if your right toes are holding onto the mat for you. That's actually lifting the sole of your foot off the mat. So see if you can spread the toes back down. Perhaps even try flexing the toes towards the shin so you feel the leg activated and the sole of the foot pressing down. Good. From here, you're going to move your hands to the top of the left thigh. And you're going to bring the knee hip level. Good. Press the top of the thigh into the hands. Good. So there's a little resistance here. You can keep the knee bent, or you can start to straighten the leg as you press the top of the thigh into the hands. So we're moving slow today, but it should feel very challenging. Try to drop that left hip down level with the right. And then maybe release the hands, arm overhead. Try not to lean super far back. Shoulders over hips, one more deep breath in. As you exhale, plant the left foot next to the right, sit back, Utkatasana, chair pose. Good, so everyone gaze down, make sure you can see all 10 toes. Again, if you're over arching the low back, sort of that hyperlordotic spine, you're gonna lengthen the tailbone down, zip the navel in towards the spine. A deep breath in. As you exhale, find an open twist to the right, just the upper body twist. So hips and knees stay where they are. Good, inhale back to center. As you exhale, really engage through the obliques to twist left. Good. Inhale, Utkatasana. As you exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step back, high plank. Good. You can take Cobra again if you're ready for Chaturanga. You'll inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway, shoulders elbow height. Inhale, up dog, knees lift off the mat. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Deep breath in. Big exhale. Good. 2 more breaths. So we'll be doing some heart opening today. This is going to elevate your heart rate. So really come back to the breath if you ever need to calm the heart rate. Slow down the breath. Soothe the nervous system. Good. Next inhale, you'll float the left leg high, hold here. It's okay to stop here today. If you want to take this a little further, you'll gaze forward, come to your right fingertips this time. And then maybe lift the pinky finger, ring finger, middle finger, index finger, and thumb. Take a deep breath in. Big exhale. Plant the right palm. Step forward, runner's lunge. Let's feel micro bend that back knee, lift up high crescent lunge. Settle in. You should have your front knee over the ankle, back heel over the toe. Most often I see this, the heel way behind the toes. It'll help you balance and really engage the back leg if you keep that back heel over the toes. Good. Deep breath in. Exhale, soften the shoulders down away from the ears. Good. Next inhale, gaze at one point on the mat in front of you. As you exhale, press through the left foot and lift the right knee. Whew, you might have a little wobbling. Just come here to grabbing the shin with the hands. Now you're going to draw the knee in towards the body. Good. So just like the beginning of class on our backs, check in with what your left leg and feet are doing. Check in with what the toes are doing. See if you can relax the toes and instead contract the shin and thigh. If you can start to find more balance in the breath, so finding that even inhale, exhale, that balance in the breath will start to manifest itself through the body. So you'll bring your hands to the top of the right thigh, knee comes hip level, and you're going to press the top of the thigh into the hands. So a little resistance, but it should start to stabilize you. And then if you feel like it, you kind of try to extend that right leg. Notice what your facial muscles are doing, your shoulders, see if you can relax them. Maybe release, bring hands overhead. Shoulders stay over the hips. Roll that outer right hip and thigh down. One more deep breath in. Exhale, plant the right foot. Sit back, Utkatasana chair. This time in your chair, just grab opposite elbows overhead. Draw the shoulder blades further away from each other, broadening across the upper back and chest. Good. Deep breath in. Big exhale. Another round. Inhale here. Good. As you exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step or hop back, Chaturanga Dandasana. You can always skip this, by the way. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. A deep breath in. Big exhale. Good. 2 more rounds of breath. Inhale here. And exhale, empty out. Good. One more inhale, fill up. And exhale, let it go. Inhale, float the right leg high, bend the knee, roll the hip open in your three-legged dog. Try to keep the shoulders square, the elbows straight. But let that left inner groin nudge that right hip a little bit higher. Good, one more deep breath in. As you exhale, re-square the hip, step the foot through. Runner's lunge. And you'll spin the back foot down. This time, open up, warrior two. So try to have your shoulders right over the hips. Make sure that back foot isn't doing something weird like turning out. You want to parallel, maybe even pigeon-toed. Good. You'll inhale, reach up and back, reverse warrior. Feel free to take your favorite arm variation, whether it's a half bind, or maybe today, if you want to take Gomukhasana arms, trying to interlace the fingers, you can. And if you have long hair, sometimes you can use your ponytail or braid, in my case, to bridge that gap. And inhale back, warrior two. Gaze down in front of the right foot. As you exhale, we'll move into Ardha Chandrasana. I like to drag my back toes across the mat until my hip stacks over my front foot. And then bring my right hand down either to the mat or perhaps a block so that I have a little bit of height, lifting and elongating through the torso. Good. So think about reaching the back heel straight back from the crown of the head. Check in with your right toes. Are they gripping the mat? Your hand can be on your hip or up towards the sky. And then since we're doing heart opening today, if you want to take Chapasana, you can bend the back knee, using the hamstring strength to draw the heel towards the glute. And maybe capture the top of the foot and kick into the hand, rolling the heart open. Really important to try not to bring the knee into the chest to grab the foot. You want to get there, find that range of motion using your strength. So that complementary strength and flexibility helps build a safe practice. But if you're in sugar cane, gently release the foot. Bend through the front knee and gently land back. Good. Inhale, reverse warrior one more time. And exhale, windmill the arms down and step back, optional Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. A deep breath in. This time, open mouth, exhale, let some heat go. And two more, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale, let it go. Good. Inhale, float the left leg high, bend the knee, roll the hip open in your three-legged dog. Try to keep the shoulders square. Try to notice if you're bending through one elbow, see if you can straighten it. And then that right inner groin nudges the left hip a little bit higher, deep breath in. As you exhale, re-square the hip, step the foot through, runner's lunge. Good, spin the back foot down. Inhale, open up, Virabhadrasana 2. So again, shoulders are stacking over the hips. The back toe, if it's turning out, see if you can parallel it or even turn it in slightly. Good, flip the left palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior. So again, you can stay here. You can take a bind. If you took Gomukhasana arms on the other side, maybe take that here. Deep breath into the left ribs. Big exhale. Good. Inhale, release the arms back to warrior two. Gaze down in front of the left foot. As you exhale, start to move into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Maybe dragging the back toes and then lifting the foot. So I like to use a block. You can have hand on mat or lifted. Your right hand can rest on your right hip or up towards the sky. Now, if you were to gaze back, you should be able to see your toes. So make sure your leg isn't way far behind you or in front of you. If you took sugar cane on the other side, Ardha or Chapasana, use the hamstring strength. So rather than drawing the knee in, see if you can draw that heel back towards the glute. Capture the top of the foot. Kick into the hand and start to roll the chest open. Check in, are you still breathing? Finding that balance in the breath. Good, sugar cane, gently release the foot. Bend the knee. And as gently as you can, land back. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, optional Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. A deep breath in. Big exhale. One more grounding breath like that. Inhale. And exhale, let it go. And next inhale, roll all the way forward, find your high plank. And exhale, lower all the way down. Now, you're gonna untuck the toes. We're gonna find Cobra again, this time more of an active Cobra. So putting a little bit of weight into the hand. You'll press the pinky toe edges of the feet into the mat. And then gently peel the chest up. This time maybe pressing a little weight into the hands. Now it's really easy if you have a flexible back to let the ribs splay out. So draw them in, create some space in the low back as you start to extend through the arms. Now, if you want to go for full Cobra today, you'll notice even more so than a stretch, it is an incredible hamstring workout, just like when we bring our heel to our glute in sugar cane. So you're going to use that hamstring strength to draw the heels up. When you contract the hamstrings, you're lengthening the fronts of the thighs, flexibility and strength going hand in hand. Good, and then maybe you'll start to tilt the head back towards the feet. Holding for a deep breath in. And then as you exhale without slingshotting, gently lower the shins. And then forehead to the mat. Good. Press back, child's pose, big toes touch. Knees open wide. Forehead softens into the mat. Maybe roll it side to side, giving it a little massage. If you want a deeper stretch, just flip the palms face up. Like you're offering something and just try to roll the tops of the hands down on the mat. Inhale, let the ribs move away from each other. As you exhale, let the belly soften like a pool. And gently reground the hands. In your child's pose, you're going to shift the weight forward, tuck the toes, and then lift the hips up and back, down dog. Get a deep breath in. Big exhale. 2 more, inhale. Maybe close the eyes, exhale. 1 more, inhale. Checking in with that internal sensation. And exhale. Reopening the eyes if they're closed. Good, inhale, float the right leg high to the sky. And exhale, step it through, runner's lunge. Starting to build a little bit. Inhale, high crescent lunge. And then you're gonna bend the knee again, finding a level pelvis. So tailbone points down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, start to lower the knee straight down to the mat, hovering an inch or two. One more inhale. And exhale, lower all the way down. Good. Shift the hips back and bring your hands down. Now, if you have blocks, this is going to be helpful. If you don't, it's just going to be a little more challenging. You're going to flex the front foot. We're not going to fold into this stretch. We're going to actually strengthen the hip flexors a little more. So you'll take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you'll press into your hands, round through the spine and upper back just a little, finding a little cat, and try to lift the toes towards the sky and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the foot, rebend the knee. And then from here, you can take a little bit of a deeper lunge since we've been working on this. So you can bring your hands to your thighs up towards the sky. If you'd like to take a mermaid variation, you'll bend the back knee, roll to the front side of the knee so you're not right on the kneecap. And you'll grab for the back foot with the left hand. Now, it might be nice to have a block for a little balance support. Now, if you want to go deeper, you'll bring the foot into the left elbow crease and reach back with the right fingers for the left hand. Trying to bring your back of your head into the arms. Good, deep breath in. Big exhale. One more inhale. And as you exhale, very gently release. Plant the palms, step back, downward facing dog. 3 rounds of lion's breath. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, stick the tongue out. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. And inhale, left leg high to the sky. And as you exhale, step it through. Runner's lunge. Good, you're gonna bring the back, or bend the back knee, inhale, high lunge. Good, so again, having a little bend in the back knee, so we're finding that leveled pelvis. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lower, hover the knee an inch or two off the mat. One more inhale. And exhale, lower all the way down. So again, option to take this a little deeper. Hip flexor exercise first. So almost forgot. So you're gonna bring the hips back. We're gonna strengthen the psoas or hip flexor. So hands on blocks or a mat, or whatever home equipment you have. And you're gonna flex the left foot. You're gonna take a deep breath in. As you exhale, find a baby cat through the upper back, press into the hands, and lift the left toes towards the sky. Good, hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Plant the foot, rebend the knee. Now we'll go a little deeper into our lunge. So any variation, whether it's the same Anjaneyasana that we've been working on, a back bend, or maybe finding mermaid arms. So reaching back, and make sure your kneecap's not pressing straight down. So shift some weight forward into the quadricep muscle. Maybe grabbing back with the right hand for the foot. And this might be enough. I have my left hand on a block for some support. Maybe you'll start to bring the foot inside the elbow crease. Or finally taking the mermaid arms. Deep breath in. Big exhale. Good, one more inhale. And exhale, very gently release. Try not to slingshot. And then you'll step back, optional chaturanga this time. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. So we're in the home stretch in terms of standing postures. So see if you can ground yourself here. Maybe reconnect with your intention. Good. On your next inhale, float the right leg high. Hold here. Maybe come to your left fingertips. Or maybe release pinky, ring, middle, index, and thumb. So you can break it down by finger. You don't have to go from hand on the mat to lifting it up. Break it down in as many steps as you need. Now this time, if you want to bend the back knee and try to capture the foot and kick into the hand, you can. Steady the breath. One more deep breath in. Exhale, gently release. Left hand down. Step right foot down. And one more side here. Inhale, left leg high. Then maybe come to your right fingertips. And then lift the pinky, ring, middle, index, and thumb. You can stay here. Or if you want to bend the back knee and try to capture the foot and kick into the hand, you can. Deep breath in. Big exhale. One more inhale. And exhale, gently release. However is the most graceful way you can. Take a deep breath in. Big exhale. The next inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. And exhale, step or hop to the top. So final standing stretch here. We'll inhale, arms reach overhead, Ardha Chandrasana. And exhale, hands to heart center. So we're gonna work up into standing bow. And I'm gonna give you that same mermaid option that I gave you in the lunge. So standing bow, a little bit different than dancers, is a little bit of a spinal twist. So versus having the straight back reach, you have a little bit of hip opening and a twist. So you're gonna shift your weight into your right foot first and draw your left heel towards the glute. Your left elbow will be at the hip, palm faces up, and then you'll drop the hand down. So notice my thumb is still pointing back, my palm is still facing out. I'm gonna capture the inside of my foot and try to bring my knees back together to touch. Focusing my gaze at one point in front of me. Inhale, reach the right arm high. As you exhale, just kick into the back hand. So don't even drop the torso or change the upper body yet. When you can't kick any higher, just like you're a teeter-totter, you're just gonna bend at the hip joint, so like a hinge. Upper body stays the same. Now, if you're looking to take this mermaid variation, you're going to actually shimmy your foot into your left elbow crease. Reach the right arm back and try to capture the left hand. And then again, you can start to hinge here. And if you wobble, that's okay. We're just finding those stabilizing muscles. We're developing them. So there's nothing wrong with a little wobble. Just find the breath to come out, gently come up. And see if you can land as softly as possible, left foot next to right. Sometimes it's nice to wiggle out the legs in between sides. All right, one more side here. So you're gonna shift your weight into your left foot. And then you're gonna bring your right heel towards the right glute. Right elbow to the right hip crease. I'll drop the hand. My thumb is pointing back, my hand is facing out. Capture the inside of the foot or ankle. Try to bring the knees back together to start. Inhale, left arm high. As you exhale, start to kick up. So before I even start to tilt, I'm kicking up. I'm increasing that line from crown of head up through the top of my back foot. Then maybe I'll hinge, sort of like that teeter-totter. Now, if I want to take the mermaid variation, I'll shimmy my foot into my right elbow crease and reach back with my left hand. And then if I want to tilt again, you can. Make sure you're breathing. Balance the breath. Focus your drishti, your gaze. One more deep breath in. Exhale. Gently, gently come out. Whew. Inhale, reach arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Tap the feet about max-width distance apart. And then you can grab behind the ankles or the back of the head. Or ragdoll, just find a little lumbar and middle spine release. So a little bend in the knees is nice. Good, and then find equal weight in the feet. Bring the left hand down in front of you, about a foot. And inhale, bend the left knee, bring the right arm high. Just a little twist to rinse out the deep back bends. And exhale, right hand down. Bend the right knee, inhale, left arm high. And down. Flexing the head and neck. Shaking it out. And then come down onto a seat. So we're gonna do one last thing before we just do some deep stretches for the last part of class. So I'm gonna teach you headstand today, Shavasana. If you have a wall at home and you feel more comfortable using a wall, you can. And on my YouTube, I also have options with blocks that you can practice at home after class if you have blocks at home. But what we're gonna do is we'll break this down. I'm gonna teach you the difficult way to do headstand because I think headstand is in many ways more dangerous than a lot of inversions because you have weight on your neck, which is your cervical spine. So in many cases, it might even be better to learn handstand before you learn your headstand. We've been exercising our hip flexors all day though, so you should have a pretty good base for this. If you can do this challenging way first, then you'll feel more secure in any of the leg variations in headstand. So my one request, because I'm not there, I can't stop you, but my request is to not kick into headstand or go one leg at a time into headstand until you can master this two-leg way first. Because it's sneakily accessible when you do one leg at a time. Even though it feels easier to get into and you're like, I'm almost there, you might not be ready to hold up there and you don't want to injure your neck. So now that my long speech is done, you're going to interlace your hands and bring them down on the mat. Now, you're going to make sure you don't bring your forehead onto the mat. You're going to bring the top of the head down between the hands or the wrists. Now, my shoulders are going to press up away from my ears. I'm going to tuck my toes and I'm going to lift my hips. Now, maybe today, I'm just working on walking my toes in and getting my hips higher over my shoulders. And I'm pressing my forearms down almost as if I have no weight in my head, like I could slide a piece of paper under. Now, the difficult way is to draw one knee into the chest. And your knee's going to want to lift. Keep it into the chest, top of the thigh into the chest. And then try to bring the other in. And you might even have a slight tuck to the tailbone, sort of becoming like an egg shape. It's a lot harder to hold, for sure. Your knees are gonna wanna lift. But if you can hold this, you can start to lift later on and feel more stability. Lifting the knees, and then maybe lifting the legs up overhead. So what happens though is that when you start to kick like this, you can start to feel unstable and it feels more accessible. But see again, if you can practice here first, maybe take little crunches or even reverse crunches, toes down and back up. Keep trying to keep the tops of the thighs as close into the body as possible. Whew. So give it a few tries, any variation. Again, if you need a wall, go ahead and use a wall. I'll give you guys about 5 more 10-second breaths here. And if you are not feeling headstand, it's not for you, or you want to just take a break, you can come into child's pose whenever you're ready. Just letting the forehead melt into a block of the mat. Good. So we'll all eventually find our way to child's pose. If you want more of a low back release, you can just bring the knees closer together, palms face up by the sides. So every time we do an inversion or a back bend, you may have noticed this, but your heart rate tends to pick up. So see if you can start to calm the nervous system down with the breath, taking deeper, slower breaths. Really tuning into your heart rate. Trying to pacify the parasympathetic nervous system. And gently come up. And just come to a cross-legged seated position whenever you're ready. And we're just going to take a seated twist here. So a great counterbalance to a lot of these deep back bends. So you're just going to bring your right hand behind you. Inhale the left arm high. And exhale, find your twist. Maybe gently tracing the gaze over the right shoulder. But try not to strain it. Inhale, lifting up from the tailbone. And exhale, twisting. And gently come back to center, and you'll bring left hand behind you. Inhale, right arm high. And exhale, find your twist on the other side. Every inhale, finding more length up through the spinal column. Every exhale, twisting deeper through the thoracic, your middle spine. And then gently come back through center. You're gonna go ahead and extend your left leg long, and you'll just pop your right knee over the leg for half shoelace or half Gomukhasana. If this feels okay and you want to bend the bottom leg as well, you can. And you want to stack your knees like you're creating 2 triangles. If you need to put a towel or anything underneath them, you can. Or if you need to just plop the sole of this foot down as a modification, that's okay as well. Just listen to your body. And from here, just sit nice and tall. This might be intense enough. If you want to go a little bit deeper, as you exhale, you can start to walk the forearms down and just rest your head over your right knee. And the more you send your breath all the way down the back into the low back, the more you'll start to feel this in the outer hips. So cultivating that higher awareness of the breath and ability to use it in your practice can make such a big difference in the way that you feel coming out of the practice and while you're in it. And gently walk the hands back up. And we'll switch sides. So we'll again start with the right leg out long. Then you'll pop left knee over. So starting in this half position, you may be deciding if you want to stay here or if you want to bend the bottom knee as well. Not all sides are created equal. So if one side is asking for something different, then just listen to that. You can stay here, take a deep breath in, or if you're ready, maybe start to walk the arms forward and just fold over the legs. Taking 5 to 10 deep breaths here. Really breathing into the outer hips and thighs. And gently walk yourself back up. And gently unravel the legs. And we'll come all the way down onto our backs. And just draw the knees into the chest, or if we're clasping again. Take a moment to just let yourself settle in. Maybe start to draw those same circles in one direction as we did at the beginning of class. Just noticing any differences. And then the other direction. And then extend the left leg long. Half happy baby, grabbing the outside of the right foot. Right, notice that if your left hip flexor is feeling a little more open, your right leg might be more willing to go a little bit deeper. Deep breaths. And then just set the right leg out long, draw the left knee in. Grab the outside of the foot or ankle. Half happy baby, Arda, Ananda, Balasana. If you want to have your eyes closed at this point in the practice, for the remainder of the class, I encourage you to do so and just turn inwards, collecting informations and sensations from the inside out, not relying so much on the visual sense or any of the visual distractions that might surround you. And go ahead and draw both feet up towards Ananda Balasana, happy baby. And this time, if you want to rock side to side, you can. Think about lengthening the entire back onto the mat, so getting the sacrum down towards the mat. Maybe flutter your lips. And just set the feet down, mats width distance apart, and let the knees knock together. Bring your right hand to the heart, left hand to the belly. See if you can let the breath come in contact with both hands as you breathe. Feeling the right hand, excuse me, rise in the left hand. Both hands falling and rising with the breath. Feel free to stay here as long as you like. If you want to move into final Shavasana, you'll go ahead and extend the legs out long. And just bring the palms face up by your sides. Let the eyelids be their heaviest. Let the eyeballs roll back in the head. Let the teeth separate, the cheekbones hollow out. And just let the entire front side of the body soften into the back side of the body, letting the muscles release. Surrendering any need, a sensation to find control. Just let everything exist in its natural state, even the breath. I'm going to let you stay here for as long as you like today. If you'd like to extend your Shavasana a little bit longer into your afternoon. Thank you all for taking the time to practice with me today, to practice with each other, and taking this time for yourself. If you have any questions at all for me after class, you can email me, message me, DM me, however you need to get a hold of me, I'll be here. If you'd like to donate to the CDC Foundation, you can donate through PayPal or Venmo. And if you didn't get the playlist, just message me. I hope everyone has a great rest of your afternoon. Namaste.